A probe belonging to the bioengineering organization Life Foundation discovers a comet coated in symbiotic life form while exploring space from new habitat worlds. The probe returns to Earth with four samples, but one of them escapes and crashes into Malaysia, causing the spacecraft to crash. The Life Foundation rescues the other three and transfers them into their San Francisco research lab, where they learn that the symbiotes can't exist without oxygen breathing hosts, which typically kills them. In a confidential document in the custody of his fiancée Annie Wang, an attorney preparing a litigation defense to the Life Foundation, investigative journalist Eddie Brock reads about these human experiments. Brock confronts Carlton Drake, the CEO of the Life Foundation, about the trials, and both Brock and Wang lose their jobs as a result. Wang calls it quit on their romance. Drake's symbiosis trials are getting closer to success 6 months later. However, one of his symbiotes dies due to carelessness. Dora Skirth, one of Drake's scientists, approaches Brock and tells him that she disagrees with his tactics and wants to expose him. She assists Brock in breaking into the research center in order to look for proof, and he discovers that one of his acquaintances, Maria, a homeless lady, is one of the test subjects. Brock tries to save Maria, but the symbiote that has been inhabiting her transfers to his body without his knowledge, killing her. Brock manages to flee and shortly begins to exhibit weird symptoms. When he asks Wang for aid, her new lover, Dr. Dan Lewis, examines Brock and discovers the symbiote. Drake kills both Skirth and the remaining captive symbiote by exposing them to each other. As a result, Brock's symbiote is the only known surviving specimen. Drake dispatches mercenaries to recover the symbiote from Brock, but it emerges as a hideous beast around his body, fending off the assault. It later reveals itself to Brock as Venom and explains that the comet is on the lookout for planets where symbiotes can infect and consume the populations. Brock accepts Venom's offer to be spared if he helps the symbiotes achieve their goal, and Brock grows to appreciate the symbiote's extraordinary abilities. Brock enters his former workplace to hand over proof of Drake's crimes, but he is surrounded by SWAT troops. Wang notices him transforming in order to flee and transports Brock to Louis' office, where they explain that the symbiote is degrading Brock's internal organs. The symbiote has two weaknesses, according to Brock: high-pitched noises and fire. Wang uses an MRI scanner to separate Venom from Brock, who is then captured by Drake's men, despite Venom's promises that the organ damage can be reversed. Meanwhile, Riot, the fourth symbiote, hops from body to body on its way from Malaysia to San Francisco. It forms a bond with Drake, who agrees to transport Riot in a Life Foundation space probe in order to collect the remaining symbiotes and return them to Earth. Wang reluctantly joins forces with Venom in order to save Brock. When Brock and Venom rebond, the latter claims that his contacts with Brock have persuaded him to help safeguard the Earth from his kind, and the two seek to stop Riot and Drake with Wang's assistance. As the probe leaves flight, Venom destroys it, causing it to explode, killing both Riot and Drake. Brock returns to journalism after the incident, while Wang believes Brock is no longer tied to Venom as a result of the occurrence, and that Venom died in the explosion as well. However, the two stay covertly linked and go out to kill criminals in order to protect San Francisco.